they have already, as well as the United States, taken their interest rates to zero. One of the bad things about going to zero is you can't go any lower unless you want to pay people to take money from you. And who knows, they might do that. But in Europe, their problems financially are every bit as much as acute as America and England, but they do have that cushion. And I think it brings a leveling of society, and in that leveling process, it makes it a little bit better on the intermediate term.
She comes back again with Mr. Chapman, the job situation still remains really grim. Here in California, it's getting worse. The monthly unemployment report is due out Thursday afternoon to be given to the feds, and the feds will probably come forth with their report on Friday. We're already being forewarned that the report will be dismal because of seasonal unemployment has been adjusted to 669,000. With all of these figures, it is amazing that there's anyone out there that's even looking at not re-enlisting into the military, because there are no jobs, especially here in California. You have the insight. What's really going to happen if this market falls instead of continuing to go up? What do you feel is going to happen when the market falls yet again below 8,000, and how long do you think they're going to be able to prop this up?
Well, the propping process that we're into right now could make things not as bad as they would have been this year, and a little bit better than they would have been next year. But after that, there's going to be a big hole open up again, and it's going to get worse. So the answers are not in throwing money at everything. The answers are in creating jobs in a real economy, and they're not doing that. And so one of the problems you have in California is that you have a tremendously large illegal alien population that works off the books. And most of them are not paying taxes, and they're using services. And that's very, very expensive for the people who are paying taxes. And it's a tremendous drag on the economy. And the lower end of the employment area, which is where most illegal aliens are, they don't have any jobs. And if jobs become available, someone who is not an illegal might be willing to work for $10 or $12 an hour, and they'll work for $4. And so that's what you're faced with. And then you have a social problem. If they can't make any money, and this is all of them, then they might turn to crime. And then you have gangs, 250,000 strong in the LA basin, heavily armed, and they represent a real problem as well. So Southern California, under these circumstances, is not one of the best places to be.
Lisa chimes in from Seattle. Welcome, Lisa. I haven't heard from you in a while. She chimes in and she says, Mr. Chapman, I'm originally from Michigan, and I just heard a report that they're going to, in Flint, Michigan, they're going to sequester part of the city and shut down the police and the fire departments because of financial problems and the fact of the large amount of gangs that are patrolling that area. What is your input? Is this going to mushroom around the United States where big cities are just going to bring the police and the fire departments in to protect the rich?
Yes. I think that something along that order could happen. And the revenues are just not there. And Detroit, of course, is one of the hardest hit, if not the hardest hit area of the country, or I should say Michigan. And you know, under these circumstances, you've got to look to Michigan to see where things might go elsewhere. And so if they're cutting back in police and fire and other services because they don't have the money, then it's going to happen in other places that are being hit hard.
Mr. Chapman, I understand what you're saying about gold and silver, and I've heard it many times on Drew's report with Colorado Al. However, what I see here, gold and silver, is for those that have money. How about those of us that are lower middle class, that don't have, we work week to week, and barely pay our bills on a monthly basis. We are never behind on our monthly house mortgage. We're never behind on our credit cards. But I wake up every day and I hear that I'm being taxed one way or another, and this is disturbing. I consider myself a middle class person, and I don't see anything but going down to being a lower middle class person. What can I do?
Well, I think the only thing you can do is try to put food away, and that's it. And, you know, make sure that you can protect your family and make sure you've got a water filter, and that's all you can do. Because if you don't have the wherewithal to invest anything, well, you just don't.
My comment to add on to that, Mr. Chapman, is, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who have heard my rant over the last 2 weeks on House Resolution Bill 875 and U.S. Senate Bill 425, call your congressman, your senator, get prepared, stop this attack on the bill that is supposedly is going to outlaw your garden. And Mr. Chapman is right on point with this one major point. I keep telling you, you need to purchase what you can. Don't look out there and do what the Joneses do if you can't afford what the Joneses and the Smiths are doing. Stock up your ammunition. Get yourself some reload equipment. Make sure you've got the equipment to purchase. And if you don't know where to buy nice equipment, get in touch with me. I've got people out there that are gunsmiths, that are manufacturers, and you'll be able to buy just about anything you want and put it in your home a lot more reasonably than you think. As far as food supplies, you heard the show this week with Daryl Dickinson, the largest longhorn rancher in the United States, who raises the Watusi beef from Africa, and the man has got his own beef there. Now, two or three of you guys IM'd me and told me that, hey, this beef is good product. Listen to Mr. Chapman. He just told you, stock up. You know, put you some food in. Well, Daryl's got homegrown American beef in a can, cooked. It works out to be $2.45 a pound for the best beef you can get. It's all natural. He doesn't give the government $10,000 per farm area for the organic logo, but it's all natural. Look at the side of the can. Beef with a touch of salt. That doesn't take rhyme or reason. You can stock that up, put it in your basement, get you a water filter, and make sure you've got some form of a Berkey water filter or some other filter out there so you can just take rainwater and you've got drinking water and cooking water. Mr. Chapman is right on point with this. He has a very fantastic newsletter. Mr. Chapman, would you give your contact information out for your newsletter?
You can get a free introductory copy by going to theinternationalforecaster.com. The International, FORECASTER.com. You can email me at bob@FORECASTER.com. That's bob@intforecaster.com, or you can call toll-free 800-375-4188, 800-375-4188.
Mike from Louisiana chimes in and says, Mr. Chapman, just now on the CNN report, they have announced that from CNN that the G20 summit may prove to be nothing more than a group therapy for a bunch of fingernail-gnawing trouble individuals bringing forth a, quote, new world order. Do you feel that that's what they're really trying to do?